new Toyotaro, maybe, illustration of Goku for Dragon Ball Legends 7th anniversary. This is slick. He did a blue Vegeta as well, so I'll probably do that too. And then if you want, like, you can combine them. I think that's another option. But yeah, this is cool. This guy cooks, this illustrator. The volume 24 cover, a lot of people are asking me to do that. I am saving it, just so you know. That's a big drawing. I will do it, but it might be a while. Maybe for, you know, a special occasion on the channel or something coming up soon. Okay, landscape page, pencil eraser, hit pause. If I go too fast when I move my hand, certain people get angry when I don't move my hand. I'm sorry. I do my best. So, face, very small. In here, zoom. Start with his frowning eyebrow. Check mark. At first, a check mark at least. Kind of like that. It's hard to explain. The manga is like smoother, slicker or something compared to the anime. And then square end. And then we go back down and it gets thinner. If my pen didn't wait. It gets thinner. As we go down to the front. Okay. And he does little sort of hatching lines at the end here. Just a very simple kind of frown on his brow there. So kind of long and thin. His eyes are long and thin as well. So we have this small line there. The big line is not that much smaller. Not that much bigger, sorry. Okay. And then we join them together. Like so. Very big eyes for Goku in MUI. So, like, yeah, it takes up half the thing. Maybe even more, but we'll go half, right? Very slender. And then the black. And then he's got cheek lines. His other eye, right, is turned sort of away from us, right, behind his frown. So like the sort of frowning nose area is kind of here. They don't draw it in, they just shade it, right? So he just draws that, right? And the nose then comes out from here. So a very sort of pointy Dragon Ball nose will go like that, down. And then we'll go this way. And then they draw in the little shadow underneath, like a little triangle. Okay. So his other eye. This might be tricky. So it goes sort of up that way. There. And then we bring it back down. There. then some hatching on top. So this eyebrow is like thin the whole way, just because it's turned away from us. And then we can see like a bit of that eye. So we'll go like down there. Then it goes in behind his nose, basically. It goes like into there. And we can just see a bit of the bottom of the silver. Like that. And then this goes back. Cheek lines there. So again, very sort of small on that side. Barely visible even. So in his mouth. Sort of downturned, angry Goku mouth. And then his bottom lip. There. And then his chin. Square just below. Like that. Okay. So we have two different sides to the face. So we have a jaw and then cheek, right? Because his face is turned away from us. So you got the jaw on this side, so it goes fairly straight. You're aiming sort of for underneath the eyebrow and kind of across from his mouth. See under there? Because that's where it'll change direction and then go up towards the ear. Okay. The other side is different. So it goes in towards his nose and then it starts to hook out around it. So it kind of curves in and out. And then it goes out around his cheekbone. And then in again towards his eye socket. And then out towards the brow. So very bendy sort of shape. So again, it goes in and out around the nose and cheek. Back into the eye and out to the eyebrow. It's because we're in 3/4 pose. Right. That's his face pretty much. I wonder if we should see like a bit of the black, maybe like a little bit of the black of his eye there. Very little though. So his ear behind hair. So we've got like a bit of a hair spike here. Right? And then his ear comes out. Very big. There. This is like his big fringe hair spike. And then we do have some ear lines just inside. And then all this hair, right? So it's kind of different to the manga now. It's very flowy. I think we can see like a bit of his sideburn or something there. Right, and then hair spike coming up. Down. And then this way. How far out does that go? Sort of in line with there, yeah, okay. And then up. Back down. So finish off the eyebrow line maybe then, or the forehead should I say, going that way. We get like his hairline here. And then there's another fringe hair spike there. And then we'll do the rest now. So there's a good bit in this. So one big one coming out here. Back in. Smaller one in between then. Large one coming up here. Lots of hair spikes now in this one. Small one there. We get this round portion, a little bump in his head, and then more sticking up this way. So then another one here maybe. In the middle of those two. Loads of hair spikes on this. This one goes down towards his ear, I think. And then there's one that comes out from behind his shoulder, so I'll just sort of stop it there. Texture, right? So you just add like a couple of hair spikes on each one. 2 or 3 is enough. Of course, there's loads in the manga drawing, but you know, we keep it simple, or we try to at least. So just to add a couple of these until you're sort of satisfied with it, or you know, copy the image and do all the ones that he does. It's up to you. Rightio. So, anatomy now, body position. Fist coming towards us, so everything's foreshortened. In there, it means it looks stumpy because it's coming towards the foreground. So, we will start with the neck muscle curving that way from the ear. This neck muscle always tells you where the center of his chest is. So the center of the chest then here. Right, so his sort of Adam's apple and stuff comes out from the bottom of his chin here. And then we have quite large chest muscles then coming down. There. Around that way. You know, like muscle fibers and stuff going this way. And the top of his chest kind of coming out from here then as well. Maybe a nipple there. Right, we keep going down. He's a big shoulder here and then a hand, but we'll just get the body in sort of. So we get like abs bumping here. 3 bumps. And then we have a ripped and torn kimono and gi. It wouldn't be kimono, it's a gi, right? So there, martial arts clothing. All these sort of zigzag rips and tears just coming around his stomach. And this will just keep going sort of around his back and just kind of there. So his back goes up underneath his fist, so you can't really see it. It kind of just stops there. And we'll finish the abdominal muscles. 3 layers. 6-pack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then he does have some like oblique muscles, you know, these muscles that sort of live around your ribs. Kind of that stuff. Right, we'll do, so I'll do the bottom half maybe last. So we'll go just with his waist, his belt, we'll just mark that out. Curves around here. It's kind of ripped and torn as well. And it has all these curved lines on it. Okay, so I guess we got to deal with this and that. So like his shoulder is huge, way bigger than you think. So it goes like curving for the deltoid muscles, right? So it goes like so. These three sort of curves, right, attached sort of to his chest a little bit there. And then like his neck muscle in here. Right, and then everything gets like sort of real short then in here. So we've got like a ripped wristband just coming around the blue, coming around his fist. Right, so that's all wristband. And then there's just like a series of bumps that are supposed to be like his arm muscles. So just like all these curve lines that kind of make up an arm that's coming towards the viewer. All foreshortening now. So it makes everything look real short because it's coming towards us. Okay, so we got a massive fist here. So knuckles, 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. We go down the pinky, and then 4 more. 1, more flat than these. 4. And then each of these is a finger, so we'll just do the main lines for that. And his thumb comes out here, so we get like all these skin folds on the side, and then the thumb sort of sticks out this way. And then I think his wristband, we can see a bit more of it in there. And then his thumbnail. And then like skin lines, you know, on the thumb. Boom. Okay. So I think we got that all in the right place. So an outstretched fist, like so. So maybe we'll try the legs before we do the small hand. So his one knee is bent, very muscular, so my most used word. Out, in, out. It's all ripped, right? Ripped and torn. His legs along the side of them. And the other side comes down. Very loose, you know. And there's like a tear on, like both of his knees are like torn up, so about there. Right, and then his other thigh comes around here. All spiky because of all the tears. And I guess some like fold lines going around his thigh there. You can see a bit of skin in there. And then like the center of his pants that way, and there's all folding lines going down there. So we got a knee in here. Yeah, so again, it's kind of like his arm. It's just like loads of muscly sort of bumps. So he's got like a kneecap bent over there, and then like all the thigh muscles around it, like crazy muscly knee. Even his knee is muscular. Right, kind of like that. There's all these fabric lines and stuff in here then. Okay, so his other leg goes down, and we can see another knee but stretched down, right? So we've got like all these ripped and torn sort of stuff first here, right? Kind of his foot is in there, but we gotta sort of get this kind of knee. So there's like an opening in his trousers. It's like ripped open. And then his leg comes down, right? So we got like his thigh and his knee area and his calf. That goes like that. And then his kneecap kind of there. A few sort of muscle lines just on his knee, like so. That's the inside. So that's like inside his pants, you know. Tricky now, that. Not as easy as that looks. And then we just see an outstretched Goku foot, right? That sort of boot that he wears. Stretched pointy down. Bit of detail on that, like a tied section here, like around the middle, and then like a red line or something. Okay, I think that's everything for the lower half. And then just this fist here. So yeah, very small. And so we can just see like his forearm coming out of his chest. And then he's got the wristband. Is that the palm of his hand? So I think goes there, and like wristband lines, and like this is like his forearm all here. And then so some sort of double bump here. And then his thumb. And then index finger, 4 knuckles up to the pinky. And then each of these just comes across like that, I think. And then the back of his hand. There. And then we'll put some sort of finger lines just across the knuckles. Right. But I think generally That's it. If you want an aura in the background or anything like that, you can. They do it digitally. That's pretty cool. Cool pose. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.